The way Gege went about making Yuji effective in this battle against Sukuna is brilliant. Before this fight against Sukuna and before the 1 month time skip, many people often wondered, including myself, how would it ever be possible for this man Itadori Yuji to be able to fight Sukuna or even be useful in the fight against him. We're 200 chapters into the series and Yuji hasn't even gotten a proper one-on-one fight with anyone noteworthy. And yes, I'm sorry Higuruma. Maybe I'm forgetting someone else. If I am, my apologies. Yuji has no curse technique, he can't even heal himself, and worst of all, he doesn't even have a domain expansion, neither can he defend against one. There's people in the community till this day that would call Yuji a Jogo victim because of that very reason. The strongest Jujutsu High students were just considerably stronger than Yuji, like Gyuta and Hikari for example. So then leading up to the Sukuna fight, knowing Yuji has to play a pivotal role in defeating Sukuna, how would the author go about making Yuji, who is significantly weaker than the strongest students, who are also significantly weaker than Sukuna? How would he make that man be impactful against him? Especially knowing Yuji has to close this astronomical gap in strength in such a short amount of time. To me, it seemed like it was going to be poorly written. My mind instantly thought the typical shonen route where Yuji will get several power-ups fighting Sukuna while being the focal point of the battle, and he would inevitably surpass all his peers. This is still possible because Yuji can now be considered amongst the strongest students, but how the current fight is going, I don't think that needs to happen. Before I continue, I just want to thank AGC Town for sponsoring this video. If you guys want cool anime merch or anything related, I suggest you guys check this place out. They have a variety of different anime stuff for many different anime like One Piece, Demon Slayer, Dragon Ball, and even popular MiHoYo games like Genshin and Honkai Star Rail. There are a lot of sales going on right now, so it's the best time for you guys to check it out. And I got some Jujutsu Kaisen stuff on sale for you Yuji fans that click the video. I got some good Yuji items you guys might like. Maki has always been one of my favorite characters who I almost love as much as Gojo, so I had to go ahead and cop myself this beautiful Maki keychain that was on sale. So yeah, there's so much to choose from. Make sure you guys check it out. Click the link in my comments or in the description and use code S.I.Q at checkout to get 10% off. Once again, code S.I.Q, click the link in the description. Now let's move on to the video. We come to find out that Yuji has grown exponentially stronger in that 1 month, like insanely stronger. The most recent thing we get revealed to is Yuji using blood manipulation. More specifically, he used Supernova to spit on Sukuna's face in the last chapter. Yuji now has blood manipulation. It isn't the most OP thing in the series, but him and Choso are literally brothers and he had time to train with him, so it makes sense that he can now use it. The second thing we get revealed to is Yuji can now use reverse curse technique. And honestly, it seems like he can use it at a pretty high level. Throughout this fight against Sukuna, he's been capable of healing nearly every attack Sukuna threw at him. Even though Sukuna's curse energy output is low in some of these scenarios, Yuji is still able to recover from a direct contact slash, which honestly is still very impressive. And Yuji has been spamming the hell out of reverse curse technique this entire battle, making it seem like his overall curse energy has just increased. To put it into perspective, Base Yuta and Sendai was fighting Uro and Ryu for a little bit, and after using reverse curse technique a couple of times, ran out of curse energy and needed Rika in order to get it replenished. Just wanted to put that into perspective. But the most impactful thing that Yuji has developed in the time skip is being able to directly interact with one's soul through his attacks on an insane level. This is perfect because not only is this not an ass pull, because Yuji being able to perceive the soul is something that was said to us as early as chapter 27. It's then stated by Sukuna that Yuji can sense it. He's able to aim directly for the barrier between Sukuna's soul and Megami's, and is disrupting the harmony between their bodies. Every time Sukuna takes a hit from Yuji, his curse energy output falls, and his control over Megami weakens. I don't believe this means Yuji can lower the curse energy output of anyone he fights, because it's implied when the harmony between Sukuna and Megami's body is tampered with, his curse energy output falls like it did when he first took over Megami's body. Megami's efforts in rejecting Sukuna resulted in his curse technique output falling. So I don't think Yuji can just dampen anyone's curse energy output, but technically he most likely can only do it for incarnated sorcerers, so technically it might not only work on Sukuna. But what is very real is the soul damage that Yuji is capable of doing to pretty much anyone in the JJK verse. Some people perceive what Yuji is doing as strictly interacting with the barrier between Megami and Sukuna's soul, and he's not actually leaving any damage. I would like to disagree because Sukuna says in this fight that Yuji's punches is the same logic as his effective attacks against the patch face, and we know he's talking about Mahito. And we know that Yuji was able to damage Mahito's soul, and that's obviously because of another soul that was residing in Yuji, aka Sukuna, allowing him to naturally understand how to perceive the soul. So yes, I think it's safe to assume that Yuji is doing soul damage to Sukuna. This is what makes Yuji so goddamn overpowered, because he's able to do the most lasting damage to Sukuna, and obviously alongside the soul split katana Maki, but it's a Yuji video. Not only is he able to have the most impact on Sukuna by weakening Sukuna's hold on Megami, he's able to do constant irreversible damage to Sukuna. And I say irreversible because from what it looks like, you can't really heal from soul damage. I won't say it's confirmed since Sukuna just got hit with the soul split katana. Knowing Sukuna has a way to overcome anything, I just can't count him out. He might find a way to do something about this or heal it. I don't know. But I think it's heavily implied that you can't. Mahito says he should have harmed Junpei physically instead of harming his soul so Sukuna could come out and heal him, implying that reverse curse technique can't heal idle transfiguration. Jogo also mentions that idle transfiguration cannot be fixed. And lastly, Shoko, the reverse curse technique expert, says once someone is transfigured, you can no longer help them. And we know Mahito's power is pretty much morphing and affecting people's soul. Well, obviously there's some people that equate what Mahito's doing and what Yuji's doing or what Maki's doing to be two completely different things, because one of them is doing soul damage and Mahito's essentially transfiguring the state of someone's soul. So maybe you can't heal that what Mahito's doing, idle transfiguration, but you can heal the damage of regular soul hits like what Yuji's doing. I guess that interpretation could make sense. It's most likely that it can be healed, just not by reverse curse technique, and just slowly recovers over time. So the reason why I'm assuming that reverse curse technique can't heal soul damage is when Maki first pulled up on Sukuna, she even questioned, can this guy even heal with reverse curse technique from the soul of liberation blade, or in other words the soul split katana? It's kind of interesting why she even asked that question, because she hasn't even attempted to hit him yet with the soul split katana. She's just seen that he was able to come back from a Jacob's ladder, but that's two completely different things. So I feel like this statement was to kind of make it ambiguous, was to kind of make us think, hey, can this really be a thing? And I feel like if it was straightforward, then we wouldn't be seeing these type of questions. But this could also be used as foreshadowing in the future for next chapter. Reverse curse technique can heal the soul. So honestly, I think it's ambiguous for a reason, so I'm just gonna assume that you can't. Just for the Yuji hype, man. But since I'm comparing Yuji to Sukuna and the other students, I don't know of a way of they could heal without reverse curse technique, so I'm pretty much implying that Yuji can do lasting damage that they can't come back from. It's confusing, but like I said with Sukuna, we're gonna find out anyways. Other people in the series may have more attack power than Yuji, but it can be healed by reverse curse technique. I find this to be pretty cool. Yuji didn't need no rage power-ups, no out of the blue abilities he had in his back pocket to try to make him close the strength gap to make him useful, but instead he found his own gimmick, and he finally has a role now, like Sukuna says. He's using his ability to perceive the soul, which makes his efforts the most impactful. He has a hacks ability that conveniently makes him integral to defeating Sukuna. While I already see some people making the argument that him learning reverse curse technique is BS. The man doesn't even have a curse technique, which is kind of true, but I'm pretty sure Yuji does have a curse technique by now, and we just didn't get revealed to it yet, and it is probably going to be something soul related. Learning all these things in 1 month can seem a bit insane, but with Yuta's dialogue when asked about what they did in the past month, he said that they cheated, indicating that they could have delved into some activities that sped up their growth process, like potentially using the hyperbolic time chamber sumo domain that Maki used in order to get her awakening. With Yuji getting good feats against Sukuna as this fight continues, combined with his soul-seething punches that cannot be healed or blocked because any contact with Yuji is pretty much soul damage, makes him a scary matchup to fight against anyone. Almost none of our students can effectively deal with soul attacks since they can't use a reverse curse technique to heal it. Notice how I say almost everyone because Hakari could potentially be the only one capable. We see that Nanami was able to subconsciously reinforce his soul with curse energy and protect it whenever Mahito tried to touch him a couple of times. But Mahito states that after a couple of hits, he will eventually be able to interact with his soul, so it's limited. So it looks like you can't just constantly reinforce your soul all the time. By the way, one cannot just do this, by the way. It's like an instinctive thing that just happens. But since Hakari has had a similar experience with his infinite curse energy, causing him to reflexively perform reverse curse technique without actually learning it, if someone like Nanami can subconsciously do that with finite curse energy and is way weaker than Hakari, it would only make sense that Hakari could do it too, because his body subconsciously already uses the infinite curse energy to heal him. So it can use that infinite curse energy to automatically reinforce the soul. But if we come to find out that Sukuna can't protect the soul even with his full curse energy, then I might not be too sure on this. Not only is Yuji able to do the most lasting damage to Sukuna, Sukuna, and obviously with the soul split katana as well with Maki, Yuji also has insane physical stats and overall great reinforcement. In his fight against Sukuna, he stated multiple times that Yuji, alongside the other students' cursed energy reinforcement has drastically improved. Another statement of Sukuna saying he improved more than just using cursed energy to strengthen himself. Yuji already had some insane physicals before, now it's even better. Combined with unhealable damage, and he's able to use reverse curse technique to a great level to where he can come back from Sukuna slashes. You don't want to get into a brawl with Yuji. The only effective countermeasure to him is a lethal domain. But then again, I wouldn't be surprised if Yuji learns simple domain since he's been training with Kusakabe. Of course, simple domain doesn't fully save you from a domain, especially if that person is immensely stronger than you. But a lot of people like to compare Yuji to the disaster curses that have a domain like Jogo and be like, yo, this guy's a victim. But it could probably be effective for Jogo since we know Yuji's output is on another level now, which can be applied to simple domains output. So yeah, even if he doesn't have a simple domain, I'm pretty sure he can speed blitz any of those guys at this point. Like, it doesn't really matter. Yuji is gonna get more feats from Sukuna. He already shown some insane physical feats. He already has a way to negate durability and do unhealable damage. From what we know, he has pretty good healing on a good level, and now he might be able to pop off something crazy with piercing blood, but we have to see. So where do you guys rank Yuji as of right now? Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in another video. That's it, guys. Hopefully we get a Hikari chapter next week. It's, you know, I had to speak a little bit of Hikari in this video, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's it. Catch you guys next time. Peace.